This was one of those weekends where Arsenal had everything in their hands. Man City had dropped points, Aston Villa had dropped points. There was a perfect chance for us to go 9 points clear, but unfortunately, we didn't take it. Please like, share, subscribe. It's free. Now let's quickly get right down into all that played out. What we'll be discussing about the game, a look at the UCL game that will be coming up against Inter, then what we had to do going forward. Break that right down. So stay with us. Welcome to our channel. If you're new here, obviously, just please like, share, subscribe, and also comment your thoughts on every breakdown that will be taking place here. We'll see you. So first things first, tactical reality. Nottingham Forest, on that day, they didn't come out to play ball. They just came to survive, They just came to play a frustrating game, knowing them just being at the bottom of the relegation battle. So basically, they just came to manage that game, knowing that, yeah, Arsenal are on top, and if they play anyhow, Arsenal will probably mess them up or beat them silly. Instead, they came not to attack or not to play any fancy football, just come stifle Arsenal, frustrate them, knowing that they already have a history in that Forest Stadium. So basically, they came there, they just came, did their low block, narrow shapes, and no particular stuff, just using physical duels, the likes of Sangare in the midfield of Nottingham Forest. So that's what they just did, so that they'll just stifle our own ball and frustrate our effort anyway. Yeah, so what did Arsenal do wrong, actually? They dominated possession, but they lacked incision. Yeah, that's what cost Arsenal. They lacked incision. Now, why did it have to play out like this? The key problems. One, there was slow ball circulation in that match. Yeah, Odegaard was nowhere to be found, and he's supposed to be our creative spark. So if he's nowhere to be found, then where is our creativity coming from? It was gone. Our ball was too predictable in the final third. Each time, it's been a long time coming. We are being found out most times. Our ball is too predictable in the final third. They just know that we'll just go side to side, then send the ball to Madueke or maybe Saka before he comes back in. And that's just it about Arsenal. Nothing exciting. So we didn't play out of the box. Yeah, even with our top 9 up front, we'll come to that. We didn't have enough attacking runners. We didn't have runners attacking the box. Now, if you remember the last season where we were beating teams silly in the second half of the season, where we were beating teams 5-0. Now, there was one thing that was eminent. We had much more inflow in the box, where you have Rice crashing it wasn't even crashing, it was there in the box as we were seated as a front 5. Apart from the 9, we had 2 extra bodies, then we had our wingers. So we were crashing that box, like pressing persistently and consistently disturbing teams. So we find out that goal, in a deep block setup. So basically, that was what was just basically lacking in this game. Now, one of our challenges was over-reliance on set piece and threats. Now, from the beginning of this season, we had already said Gyökeres is not a header of the ball. So that's given. That's a given. If it was Kai Havertz, we'll know that yes, we had the chance. But Gyökeres is a person that likes to get the ball on his feet, play the ball to his leg, and let him smash. Don't try to cross the ball. You won't get the best out. You won't get anything out of it. It will only be like an attempt. Yeah, and at the end of the day, you get frustrated and now say, this guy, he's not even playing anything. He's not contributing. He's not doing anything. He doesn't attack the way we want him to attack as an attacker and all of that. You are not bringing the best out of him, basically. So when he has his chances, you give him the ball at his feet. Just give him one time pass that he will shoot. Yes, initially in the beginning of the season, he has done a couple of mistakes with just shooting the ball, trying to just rush the shot then. But now he has grown into them. But he needs those chances. How can you say you have a striker that is underperforming, and yet you are not giving him those chances? Give him those chances and see if he will not bury it. I mean, we are almost getting to February, and Is this the kind of ball we want to play? It's the kind of thing service we want to give our strikers. Even any striker we are bringing, and we don't deliver the ball. What does he want to do? So basically, yeah, we know he has his flaws and all of that, but the talking points from the game, that's what I'm just looking at. So let's just keep to that. So the bottom line of all of this, the player observations, Odegaard tried to create, but it was crowded out. So basically, that's an issue. Trying to create, but being crowded out, that's an issue. So he was nowhere to be found, basically. He didn't free up men, he didn't free up space. He takes his time to pass the ball, tries to measure and start dilly-dallying with ball. And when he's crowded out, don't take the ball away from him. Yeah, so even Madueke, Saka, Martinelli, each time they are double teamed. When they are double teamed, they don't take the ball to the players. Now they know Madueke's style. He dribbles to the byline. Yeah, when he dribbles to the byline, they'll double team him, they'll choke him there. Then Saka does not even go to the byline most times. So they try to double team him outside for him to pass that ball out. So that's Saka's flaws. That's Madueke's flaws. Then from the other end, Martinelli does not play. He's not good on a low block. That's why he excels in the Champions League. And you see him in our Premiership game. He's just there. Like, he doesn't know how to play football. He knows how to attack, yes. But as a winger in the Prem, he doesn't create enough space. He doesn't pass like intelligent passes. So most times we do have issues there. And because of the fact that we are playing a makeshift left back in Jurgen Timber, who has been a long time, he has played there, there's always a problem. Even before that match, he has struggled. It's been a long while he's played at the left back position. So slotting him there, he didn't have a great performance. You still brought him back. Still didn't work out. So he doesn't create anything attacking wise going forward. So we had an issue there. So these are the things basically we had as an issue on the left flank. They brought in Jesus, he did some skill, and unfortunately it just didn't work out. Jesus on the day was also dormant. So basically that's what there was no cohesion in that game. Obviously there was no cohesion. Now look at that, we played that, so we just have to move on and see what we have achieved with that. So we move. Missed opportunities. Was this draw? It hurts me so much, and let me let you know why. Context matters. Why did this draw hurt me? Number one, Man City played first and they dropped points. So definitely we would have been able to just capitalize on it. Nice game, Man U. They went there with all hopes of like Man City like winning the game practically, but we were shocked. So that is Premiership football, where you now put your hope that this is a straight win and all of that will beat. That is Premiership football. That is a derby match. You don't come to a derby match with all hopes like, yeah, you will beat them. It's a derby match. They'll play more passionately. They have everything to play for pride. So that was what played out. Even myself, I was even surprised when I saw the bookies giving Man City 2 odds to Manchester United 3 odds. I was like, are you serious? Something is definitely going to happen. It was a 12 o'clock kickoff, an early kickoff, and there is always drama 90% in an early kickoff. So that game was set. That was all sparked the day's game. Then Arsenal, they came to do their own funny football. Now the next day, which was Sunday, Aston Villa too came around. When they came around, unfortunately, Everton now gave them a shocker, because prior to that day, I was like, this is a real missed opportunity, because Man City has dropped points. So obviously, Aston Villa will take extra points of them. I was looking at Arsenal like cutting the highest down to 4 points and all of that. But obviously, they couldn't get the win in their house, where they had strong form in their home. But unfortunately, they also couldn't get the win, and it was a shocker. That's Everton. The same way they went to United house and won United, even with 10 men, they still won Manchester United. So it was a shocker as well. So it was no surprise. Everton is like a bogey team, so there's nobody on their day that they can't shock. You can ask Arsenal have seen their days with them, but thank God we won them earlier in the season and all of that. So we move. So Arsenal had a chance to go 9 points clear. That was one of the reasons. It was a missed opportunity. So if they had gone that 9 points clear, they would have gotten 9 points clear on Man City and Aston Villa. At the same time, on how it pans out, this week would have been a very, very cool week, very relieving week. But we move. Now, this is what it means. Now, that means the pressure stays alive. Like that draw on Arsenal means that pressure stays alive. Very bad. So other clubs will always feel, yes, the title remains open. We can take advantage of this Arsenal not winning this game to an Arsenal fan, basically. So the psychological advantage is lost. Yeah, that's another missed opportunity, because if we had won that game, the psychological advantage would have been ours. We would have said, okay, now that we have won this game, 9 points ahead, our form is brimming, our confidence will be brimming. We believe that, yes, we can take this game anywhere. I remember last season, that's how we started drawing 1, started drawing 2, started drawing 3 around December. Before you knew, we draw a whole lot of games in December last year, and before you know what's happening, we had lost the league. We have conceded the league to Liverpool, rather. So basically, that's just it. Very, very painful. Champions are not just won by big wins. They are won by taking advantages when rivals slip. That is where champions are born out from. Yeah. So just take note. So that's just it. You take advantage of your rivals slip up. Yes, we've done that a couple of times and all of that, but it's an extended lead to give you more confidence, more time to do big things to readdress. But we'll take the positive anyway. Now, it will even give Mikel Arteta time to go and reflect, look at the game, what he can tinker in the squad. But in a nutshell, I would just say, well, it's a complacency and inconsistency. Like Martinelli, if you had buried that chance, the narrative would have been different, a whole lot different. I've heard on social media where they've said, yeah, the team selection was wrong and all of that. No, the manager knows what he's doing. He's rotating his squad. He has a very robust squad that he can call on. And this squad, to my own mind, have that capacity and the capability to finish this game. But they couldn't. So I don't agree that with the narrative like the squad. No, this squad would have beaten that team very well if they are taking their chances. That major chance, proud to that chance, he had another chance, Martinelli, to have taken that chance, but he still fluffed his line. Get to the ball. You don't have any business using that your weaker foot to get that ball. Then you now played it off target. What's that? You run, you're fast. You're fast. Go there, smash that ball into the net, and we move. It would have been a settled story by now, but you missed that chance. Now, to our title rivals, basically, what it does mean is, as a quick one on Man City and Aston Villa. Yeah, Man City, I won't lie to you, they are also not at their ruthless best. Yes, you can win the FA Cup with that margin. You can win Newcastle. It's a cup match, EFL Cup. But in the league, you've drawn what? Out of 4 games, you've done 3. You've lost 1. So it's not that they are at their ruthless self. And if I remember Haaland vividly, Haaland tends to thrive in the first half of the season. In the second half, he doesn't really score goals as much as that first half of the season. For the past couple of seasons I've watched him play, yeah, he tires out. So it now depends on who will now carry this team forward, if it's not a one-man team, according to them. So that's just that. Also, they have defensive lapses. Yeah, they do have defensive lapses, even though they are on the verge of signing Maguire, which there is no possibility that guy alone will settle all the issues in the defense. Because if you look at it very well, it's still a team game, still a squad game. So that being said, the last thing, squad rotation is also catching up with their team. That's where Arsenal, I feel they have the edge, because it's the squad depth that we are talking about. Now let's even look at it. If you remove Haaland, from their 9, who strikes? The remaining are just attacking players. the Cherkis, the Foden, the Semenyo from the wing, the Doku from the wing. Who strikes? Nobody really. So squad depth will still play a long way. Thank God for the Gunners. A positive take from them. Havertz is coming back to fitness. Jesus is playing his part beat and all of that. Then Gyökeres, just try and find what you do to yourself. Like just we are still backing you though. We are still backing you. Please turn up for us, please. I beg of you. Yeah. So please just follow my channel. I will also describe Gyökeres in more detail with Havertz and Jesus as well. So please click like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell to get my content from time to time. Okay, we move on. So we were discussing on the quick one on Man City, which we have discussed. Then also on Villa. Basically, for Aston Villa, they are just overperforming with signs of fatigue. Obviously, they are overperforming. They hype about them being title contenders. I don't know where that one came out from, but they're just overperforming because you look at it. Most of the big games, they've won it in their ground. That is at the Villa Park. They won it on their ground. So definitely, they will go to the big boys' ground and they'll play their hearts out. Those people, they'll return all those points. So you can't really say, yeah, they are tight contenders. Look at Everton just beating them in that same Villa Park with all hopes raised. So when the pressure mounts on them, the question is, can they absorb the pressure just like Arsenal have been absorbing pressure from the beginning of the season, the narratives, everything about it? Can they also, withstand those pressure? Okay, they had pressure now. Close the point on Arsenal. They went there, they went to go and fluff their lines. I don't understand. You think those lower teams, they don't want to get points? That Everton, you think they don't want to get every point in the Prem matters? They don't call it the most competitive league in the world for nothing. Matters. You slip up, you blink, you are in 15th. You blink, you are in 8th. That's how competitive the league is. Yeah, so they also have issue of depth. Their depth in their squad is also beginning to show as well. That is the reason why this Arsenal's draw hurts me the most, even more than Liverpool. Our rivals are not perfect and we're not capitalizing on this. So it hurts me the most. It's painful. Well, it is what it is, according to my coach, Mikel Arteta. We move, then we improve our game. That's what I just like about the Arsenal's game. You are not that inconsistent. When we make a flaw, we tend to correct it on time. So that's what I like about Arteta's Arsenal. So we move, and we are just hopeful. So moving forward, what must change? Mikel Arteta, please, you have to do some tactical adjustments, all right? You have to bring in a faster tempo for low blocks. Don't be complacent. Don't take games passively. There have to be a faster tempo for low blocks. I don't know who you want to use. If it's Waneri, if it's what's it called, Eze, the King. I don't know whom you want to use, but there have to be this level of consistency as the game builds on. So that's about that. Another thing I saw, we have more like that season when we were just fantastic. The whole of January and February, we were just giving teams 5-5. We suffocated teams and we destroyed them, set pieces and everything. We have to have that more central overload. Now, our challenge with this season over that season and that style is because of that midfield. Now, Mikel Arteta is trying to play a double pivot, playing what's his name? Zubimendi and Rice roaming together, not like one stays and another one is consistently in the overload box. So they are just moving interchangeably. So that's the issue there that I don't know if it's working well or we'll try to sort them out. But that last season when Partey was still there, we know Rice, you just do the overload in front. So we dominate teams, we press them. When you lose the ball, we start pressing from there. We press you for you to just play a long ball and we win that header or the second ball or the duels. Very important. So that's what I see going forward. I also see early shots, from the edge of the box. You have to play. If you have a faster tempo, definitely it will now build to early shots from the edge of the box. Well, that's where Havertz do come in. That's why I respect Havertz will come play the 3 diamond from the wing then they'll play, when they crowd that place, they'll just switch the ball to the other side. That will give the other angle a free space to attack and to shoot. And by so doing, we'll get early shots in the box. Then lastly and finally, we have to develop a sense of better movement in between lines. We need that better movement in between the lines. Our movements in between the lines have been questionable for quite a lot of time. So also, apart from tactical adjustments, we talk about squad usage. Yeah, we have to make early substitutions as well. More rotations to maintain intensity of the game. So that's how. And fortunately, we've been trying to an extent. Yeah, but early substitutions, more movement to raise intensity of the game. Not every time. Gokiaros will just play 60 minutes and they'll just take him off. 60 minutes and they'll take him off. Each time when I notice they take him off, the pressure is now lessened on the opponent and they tend to start attacking us. That's where they get their own goals. That's why Arsenal has been conceding too many of late. So there's an issue. So that must be addressed. We have to trust our squad depth in tight games. We just have to. Games that are low block, we need dominant left back that can hold and play the ball out from the back. That is why I'm so disappointed with MLS. I just feel he's just much rusty, but that guy last season, he was phenomenal. He was holding the ball from the left and holding it very well, but lately I don't know if it's a match rustiness, but lately he's not been doing or being at his best, and it kind of hurts because we need that guy. We need him. He needs playing time, Mikel. He needs playing time. I think he will get better with playing time. Then lastly, you don't break low blocks with patience alone. You have to break them with movement and aggression. That's what you have to play low blocks with. Aggression and movement. You just need to move and break their pressure. Alright? Not just playing in front of the low blocks. Play by line, bring the ball out, switch, just with aggression. You need a power forward and somebody that will support a power forward. Yeah? So that is how we can thrive. So that's it about that review. Moving forward, we'll talk about Inter Milan, the UCL coming up. Why Inter is a different test. They are compact but aggressive. Inter is very aggressive on the ball. They are very compact as well. So the last time I remembered we played Inter Milan, they won us in this same turf by a lone goal. The game wasn't really that important though, but yeah, we can. As in this game isn't really that important. Even with we seeing a loss or a draw, we are still comfortable. So I would like to see how Arteta goes into this game. Very strong in transition. They are very strong in transition. Inter Milan, and they have physical midfielders as well, physically, and that is where Arsenal struggled. Like if I remember this Nottingham Forest game, the midfield suffered in this game, and the game against Aston Villa in the first half. Why? Because they have a physically strong midfielder in Sangare for Nottingham Forest, and in Aston Villa, Onana. Remember, the guy was bossing Merino like mad. It was after he left due to an injury that we now started taking control of that. That game was won in the midfield. So we have to watch out for that against Inter Milan. And they are deadly on the counter as well. They use two forward. At times they will use their captain Martinez and Thuram. Yeah. So basically they use two forwards of any sorts. They use two forwards. They're very deadly. Okay, so having said that, how Arsenal should approach this game. Number one, control that midfield first. Declan Rice, I appreciate you. Lately I've been seeing some fatigue in your game, but I think you need a defensive, intelligent midfielder. I think, and the only one we have right now is Merino. Okay, and Norgard. So I don't know how they want to play those games. You have Merino, you have Norgard. So we have to take control of that midfield firstly. All right. Secondly, we have to avoid risky turnovers. This is very important. Risky turnovers, and like the likes of Madueke, they tend to give risky turnovers because they take risk on the flanks a lot. But if they can get past those risks, yes. Saka doesn't like taking risk. He's a very passive person. He has to see the chance like it's a chance before he goes. Otherwise, he will not. He rather passes the ball back to the midfield and we start to rotate the game, and that's how, the energy of the game. The fullbacks must be disciplined as well. Yeah, the fullback must be very disciplined. Now, Timber or what's his name? Ben White. Yeah, Timber or Ben White. So those two guys, they really have to be. I don't know whom they will be using. They just have to be disciplined. To my mind, I would even love us to just use Ben White and reserve Timber. He has played a lot of games. You have to keep him. This match is not important as such. So we have to keep him for United match. United, they like fast breaks. And if we are pressing high, we need to, neutralize those fast breaks before it becomes a thing, an issue. Then finally, we have to be clinical. Well, chances will be limited in this game, so we have to be clinical. So I don't know, our strength is set piece. So I don't know if, since we have to be clinical, if you are going to start Jesus wastes chances, Gyökeres doesn't see chances enough, because I can't judge him based on all this is half struggles. Yeah, so because what I see is just half struggles. They are not giving the pass like, okay, let me shoot this final shot. Most of the balls there are chances he creates for himself lately, and he wants to just shoot, but the ball that have been created, our strength, yes, dead ball. So I don't know technically if Merino should start that game. I don't know if it's up top or on the midfield in place of Odegaard. I think he should be there somehow in that game. So I don't know. My preferred lineup should be Raya in goal, normal. Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel. I heard Mosquera is back, but I don't think he'll be fit enough to start the match. At left back, I still want Miles Lewis Kelly to play left back. I really do. I like that guy. Champions League is a place where you express yourself. Yeah, you want to play compact, you want to control the game. And the last team that we played like this was Atletico Madrid. Albeit it was in our home, but I believe strongly that he will have to, he can build into the game. They are not like Inter is not like a rash team that will just be rushing you and trying to haul you at every opportunity they have. And yeah, he could hold his own. I would like him to start anyway in that defense. Then anchor, I would like Rice. I would like Zubimendi, and then Merino. Rice, Zubimendi, Merino to start. Up front, I would like to see Trossard start because it's a technical team. That's Inter. If Jesus is fit, no, I don't know. Jesus doesn't suit this kind of game because they are powerful defenders. Any small team, they will bully Jesus and he's out of the game. So if Jesus always thrives where Martinelli is, so basically if Trossard is starting, definitely Martinelli and Jesus should be on the bench. Then for the wings, I don't know, Bukayo Saka, Madueke. I would want Madueke to start. Why? Because Bukayo Saka can start in the weekend. This game is not that really important. The game, the match in the weekend will be important. Will be is much more important, as this one is not that important to me. So I'll play Madueke again, then play Saka during the weekend. So that's how I rest my best legs. And then finally up top, obviously Kai Havertz is not fit enough to start. So I will bring in Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, because he's a fighter. He just has to fight, even if his chances are limited. So, like I said earlier, he makes most of his chances himself, like jamming players and just struggling. But if he struggles too much and he's not getting, then you can take him off. You can bring in Jesus. You're bringing in Jesus. Obviously, you'll be bringing in Martinelli in the second half. So that's what we'll discuss towards the next EPL game. Mentality shift is needed. There's no room for complacency, knowing fully well it is Man United that have just beaten Man City. So obviously there's no room for complacency. Treat every game like a final. We just have to. From now, after this Inter game, we treat every game like it's a final. Remember, from from history or from time past. We start bottling when they call us. We start bottling this league or playing draws up and down from February and March. Our league starts, So that's why my fear of this Nottingham Forest game has just brought back those memory. Cue games early, very important. If you can, let's cue games early. Start managing the game early. Cue games early, then take early chances, create those chances, take them. We are on the front foot. When we're on the front foot, it drives teams to come out, and when they come out, we want to bury them. So that will just be our strength, our early goal. So basically, us, the season is still in Arsenal's hands, and is in their hands to lose. But hands only matter if you hold on when it counts. Hands only matter if you hold on to when it counts. So that's my analysis. That's my thoughts. I would like you to drop your comments, in the comment section of this video. Everything you've heard, your take on it, your positive take. For now, I will sign out, and I would love to relate to you, communicate with you more. So please do share, and subscribe. Subscription is free. Peace out. I love you all. Up the Arsenal.